Hi, I'm Jimmy. In this video, I wanted to walk through 6 different dividend ETFs that I like from different parts of the world. I found 2 that I like in North America, I found 2 from Australia, and 2 more from Europe. Now, my goal was to try to identify a handful of dividend ETFs that could be combined to create a well-balanced dividend portfolio. And I just wanted to point out that no matter where you live in the world, it's likely that you're able to buy any one of these ETFs. Most brokers allow you to buy foreign ETFs, so no matter where you live, you should be able to go out and buy any one of these. Just talk to your broker and they should be able to make that happen. Okay, so how about we kick it off in Europe first? So the first ETF is a JP Morgan Emerging Market Bond ETF, ticker symbol IEMB. It trades in the London Exchange. Now, this ETF has a fee of 45 basis points. So one of the things that I like about this ETF is that it invests in sovereign bonds. So they have government bonds from many different emerging markets all around the world. They have bonds from Russia, Poland, Ecuador, and the list goes on and on. They have almost 500 different holdings, and they have a dividend yield of right around 5%. The next dividend ETF that I think is very interesting for a global dividend portfolio is the iShares Euro Dividend ETF, ticker symbol IDVY. This ETF has a fee of about 40 basis points, and they invest in stocks in Europe. They have companies like Total, which trades in France, that's an oil and gas company, and Aegon, which trades in Amsterdam, and they offer life and health insurance, and then they have some investment products as well, I believe. The ETF has about 30 holdings, and they have a dividend yield of slightly more than 4%. Okay, jumping over to Australia. The first dividend ETF that I think looks really good is the Spider S&P 200 ETF, ticker symbol STW. This ETF invests in the 200 largest companies that are the largest and they're the highest liquid companies in Australia. The expense ratio, the fee, is about 19 basis points, and they have a dividend yield of about 4.1%. I like this ETF because it's fairly well diversified, although about 30% of the investments are in financials and almost 20% are in the material sector, although the rest of the holdings are well spread out amongst all the other sectors. Next up, I've got an Australian real estate ETF. It's the S&P 200 Property ETF, ticker symbol SLF. And this company has 200 names. They invest in the largest and most liquid companies, but this time they focus in the real estate sector, with almost 100% of the fund invested in real estate companies. They have a dividend yield of almost 5% and a fee of about 40 basis points. So this is a nice diversifier to our global portfolio. Okay, now we move to North America. First up is a Canadian ETF called the BMO Laddered Preferred ETF, ticker symbol ZPR. This ETF invests in preferred shares. And right away, we know that that means that they're likely to invest heavily in the banking industry since banks tend to offer the most preferred shares. And that's true. But I was impressed to see that less than 40% of their holdings are in banks. And then the rest are invested, they're scattered around. They have some in pipelines, some insurance, some real estate. I saw some in telecoms. So it's a fairly well-diversified portfolio. ZPR has a fee of about 50 basis points, and they have a dividend yield right around 5%. Now, shifting to the US, here I'm going to go back to a bond ETF. This one is the Spider High Yield Bond ETF, ticker symbol JNK. This ETF invests in high-yield corporate bonds. They have a fee of 40 basis points and a dividend yield of more than 5%. This ETF pays its dividend monthly, which is a good thing for investors who love dividends. Now, they have more than 800 holdings, and no one holding makes up more than 1% of the entire fund, so it offers plenty of diversification. So overall, we end up with 6 dividend ETFs, all paying with a dividend yield of between 4 and 5 to 5.5%. 2 in Australia, 2 in Europe, and 2 in North America. Now, I recognize that I went through each of these ETFs fairly quickly, and I was hoping to get to as many dividend ETFs as I could in a short period of time. If you think I should dive deeper into any one of these ETFs or more than one, let me know in the comments below, because I find it's a fine line between rambling on about any one ETF and possibly wasting people's time and just mentioning the names and moving on. With this video, I'm striving to hit a middle ground where hopefully I give enough information about each ETF to let you know what they offer and hopefully what I like about it. And then you could let me know which ones you like the best, and together we can dive deeper into the best ones. So with that being said, let me know what you like from this list. Would you have picked different ones? Would you have added one that I didn't have? Should we dive deeper into any one of these or perhaps a different one altogether? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe, and thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of the video. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.